In this video, I want to show you blacksmithing in the game as it exists in the beta. And there are actually two types of crafting available at launch. There will be jewel crafting and blacksmithing. And as I say, in the beta, we only saw blacksmithing, although there's quite a lot of information available about jewel crafting as well, and I'll cover that in a separate video. The way crafting works, you don't do it with your own characters, you do it using NPCs in the game. So there is, in each town, there's a jewel crafter and a blacksmith, and right here I'm looking at the blacksmith in town. And what happens is, for your account, you need to skill up your artisans. So in this case, what we're looking at is a blacksmith that has not leveled up yet. It's a level 1 blacksmith. And the way crafting works is, if you compare it to World of Warcraft, for instance, in World of Warcraft, you obtain materials for crafting through exploring in the world, as well as through disenchanting and prospecting. In Diablo, what you have is you can, for the blacksmith, destroy items that you don't need. So that means rare quality or magic quality or higher items. So magic quality, rare quality, and legendary items, you salvage them, as you see here, at the blacksmith. And that it destroys the item and creates materials. Now the materials are specific to the level or difficulty level you're playing at. So depending on whether you're playing normal mode or inferno mode or whatever, you're going to get different items or different crafting materials from salvaging. So right now I'm on the normal mode of the game, and the items that I'm able to craft are the subtle essence and tooth, and then also the petrified bark would come from legendary items. So this is the way it kind of works out. I'll make available a cheat sheet that shows you how this plays out, but for example, on the normal level you get a magic item from magic goods. So if you take a magic item, salvage it, you get subtle essence typically, and if you take a rare item, you're going to get fallen tooth, which is the organic item. And then there are elemental items as well if you're disenchanting or salvaging legendary items, and in the normal mode that would be petrified bark. And then these items are used, these crafting goods that you do through salvaging are used for reforging or for crafting items. So for the most part, since I'm looking at most of what I've had drop in normal mode in beta has been simply magic items, I'm getting mostly the subtle essence, which is the basic crafting good that you get from salvaging. But you also saw at the very beginning of this video that I was able to get a couple of fallen teeth because it's sort of like, again, it's like disenchanting in World of Warcraft. You sometimes get higher quality items than the basic default level. So you can get some fallen teeth, but you'll get them more frequently if you're disenchanting or salvaging from rare items. And I don't think you'll get the petrified bark unless you're doing a legendary item. And so, of course, the other side of the equation here is forging or crafting goods. So assuming you've being able to obtain some items of rare and magic quality through questing and drops, then you've obtained crafting materials through salvaging, or you might be buying them on the auction house. Then you can craft or forge weapons and armor at the blacksmith. Now what you have available to craft depends on the level of your craftsman, and you have to provide funds. Here it shows, you can see it's going to cost me 2,000 gold to train this blacksmith up a level. And at each level, as levels go up, you are able to craft more difficult, higher level armor and weapons. And so you also have to get plans, or the recipes, that is, for the items that you're going to be able to craft. And of course this will be specific to your particular game. So those are aspects that you have to continue to develop through the game in order to be able to craft better gear and potentially make some gold profit through crafting. So you can see I'm spending 2,000 gold at a time to level up my craftsman, and it'll take a while and quite a lot of gold to increase his level to the point where he can really craft anything that's particularly good. So if I look through the weapons I have available, things like the Apprentice Broadaxe, you hover over it and you can see the stats. As I mentioned, you get some variability in the stats when you do the crafting, and so this will introduce some uncertainty into the value of crafting items, assuming that you have to make a decision between either selling your salvaged crafting materials on the auction house or crafting weapons or armor that you're going to try to sell on the auction house. My expectation is it's going to be smarter, especially until the game starts to mature a fair bit, to simply trade your essences, your magic essences, and the things like the Fallen Tooth on the auction house, and work through use that as your method of profiting. So going out questing, converting your items that you can't use on your characters into crafting materials, and then selling them on the auction house, and perhaps also buying trash goods on the auction house from other players who are just disposing of things that way instead of salvaging themselves. If you can buy the items cheap enough and make profit from the materials that you salvage, then that'll be a way of making gold profit quickly if the dynamics on your in the game work out that way. So now you see that I've actually skilled up by paying enough gold, skilled up my craftsman to the second level, and so now I have some other recipes available, and really it's just a very simple matter of clicking on the recipe. You see that it shows the materials required. So for instance, this particular recipe requires, for the apprentice hide gloves, 5 subtle essence, and I've got 10 in my bags right now, so I can make up to 2, and if you can see that beside the recipe under gloves it shows that I can actually craft 2 using the materials available to me at this time. That's really the essence of the blacksmithing profession. The variables are the costs and availability of the salvaged crafting materials, the level of the craftsman you have available, and the recipes and plans that you've had drop or that you've been able to buy and equip your NPC crafter with. And then of course the prices of all these various items, the armor themselves for the kinds of stats that you're able to create through crafting versus the cost of the materials that go into it, and also factoring in the cost of skilling up your NPC craftsman. And those will be the factors that go into deciding how you can best make profit through crafting and through materials, crafting materials in the game.